I really don't have time to make another video, but anyway, I wanted to illustrate something that all of us buy are sneakers. And first of all, these aren't Nikes. This is a box from the pair I had how many years ago. I threw them out. I had to light a cigarette because these are a cheap piece of shit, and my cat got some hair on them. I'm picking that off. And I got an insect in my face as I'm making the video. Anyway, these insoles don't really come out of these, but these are like wearing a piece of plywood. I think I picked these up at either Walmart or something. I don't know. The bug stuck to my, there it is, stuck to my glasses. I don't know where the hell he came from. These are a cheap piece of junk. When you do auto body, when you do what I do for a living, okay, I'm going to line my ducks in a row. We wash cars. I live in these things, okay. You have to have a comfortable sneaker when you're painting a car. And say you have your paint gun. We'll just use this. I have a paint gun over there, but it's my undercoating gun. And you're going down the body and you've got a sidestep. You've got to kind of walk on your arches and your heels, not your toes, because you're at a body position where you're in a, almost like a football, like when you're ready to sprint, and you got to kind of walk because of how low some of the cars are. It's very hard, and at times I've got to walk on the tips of my toes and my knees across the bottom to do, say, a rocker panel on these newer cars that are really low to the ground. At times I don't even do that. I put them up on ramps on one side, a jack or a ramp or something, so I can actually get the gun does not spray up, it sprays down actually, or it sprays straight forward. I can adjust some of those tips. If you have a paint gun, this is a neat trick. Maybe it's time, while I'm talking about cheap junk and sneakers. This was a cheap junky gun, I thought. Well, it's not. If I take this tip and say I do that, okay, this you'll get a pattern one way, up and down, or another way, okay, depending. You can go up and down. This is up and down, so your fan will be out, versus if you put the tip like this, your fan will be up and down, okay. So when I'm doing a rocker, if I just take that at 45 degrees, it gives me enough of a swath, being right-handed, okay? But you got to have the right sneaker. Now, this is not the right sneaker. And you see the Nike in there? Well, let me show you something, the Air Walkers. These are an Air Walker. They call them the Nike Air. Now see my other ones, they say Air on them. Air. There's no air. There's a cheap fucking insole in these things. There's no air. None. Not like my other ones. Never throw your old sneakers out, because I feel like a best friend just died. I got these out of the box. These were what I was going to replace them with, and these have those mesh sides, which I'm not happy with. Okay, I like a nice leather-clad sneaker like I have on, and they're a hell of a lot more comfortable. This is the last pair that I'm wearing. I have to put them up there, of actual Air Walkers. I bought an identical pair from Walmart, or not Walmart, from Amazon. They're going back. They're a leather top, the silver MONARCH Air Walker, but they're not an Air. They have this insole in them with this. See that D on them? Is that a D? Air MONARCH. Air MONARCH. Okay, but it's not an Air MONARCH. It's a fraud. Cheap Chinese junk. So then I went to Amazon and I bought Reeboks. You think this Reebok, all there is arch. There's nothing in the heel of this. It's another one with the sewn in insole. So you can't even take that insole out and even put, usually I put a padding insole in, and then I'll put like a foam cushion over that, a conforming one for your heel. Now that you're buying these insoles left and right, these geniuses decided to lift the arches in here, in there. They decided to lift the arch. So it puts your goddamn heel in a pocket. So now you're really at a loss. You can't get a comfortable insole because the geniuses are cheapening up. They don't want to put anything, for support in the heel where you need it. And when you do stuff like I do with tools, you know the pressure you're putting either on the balls of your feet or on the heels of your feet, depending on what tool that you're using. So, again, these are going back to Amazon. They're junk. They're garbage. Now, that brings me to you folks. What sneakers should I buy? Okay, tell your Pennsylvania Dutch uncle what sneaker I should buy. Because right now, things are getting so cheap, so sleazy, so slimy, just like having the engine knocked out of my truck by a slumlord. We're still trying to get to the bottom of that. Who owns that shopping center? Hopefully. Toontown is closed today. I went downtown to the mayor's office. I also went to get a haircut. That's closed. Nobody works 7 days a week like I do. Don't get me wrong. That's just the way I was brought. We really don't. Once you're an adult, where I come from, you don't really have a holiday. You continue to work and support yourself and your family. But anyway, getting ripped off with cheap garbage like that. Might as well go to Walmart and buy the $25.99 sneaker. And even these, I think I paid close to $30 for them. But they're garbage. Just like that is not an Air Walker sneaker. It's got a nice little cute kitty window. So I guess these are kitty sneakers now for $40 and $50. Now China wants the real money out of you. As far as I'm understanding, I think Reeboks are starting at about $150, $170. Then you get an actual foam cushion insole and the sneaker lasts or whatever. But I guess these are now like a gimmick product. So if you're like me and you work in the trades, because just after a couple hours, I didn't wear these for days or weeks. I wore those a couple hours. Well, I was painting that Chrysler that was here, and I had to fix the body on it. It's not all that much work, and you're in an environment though where it's wet, it's sloppy, the yard gets soupy, and it soaks right through the freaking sneaker. What in the hell are these people thinking? I want a leather-clad sneaker. We have Dick's and Dunham's left, the two upper-end stores to shop for sneakers. All they got is this mesh, this cheap Chinese garbage. And they're selling these for $60, $70, $80, $90 a pair. And they're junk. They're like the $40 or $30 pair at Walmart. Why are you going to spend that on a goddamn Nike product when they're garbage? So, that's my video for today. Is again, the consumer gets hosed. And I mean hosed bad. So, I got hosed for close to $150, $200. Probably should have just bought a $150 pair of sneakers. But even then, I'm just taking other people's advice. I've never bought those types of sneakers, so I don't know. All I know is most of that's going in the garbage, and what can go back to Amazon's going back. And even Amazon on the one pair got my size wrong. I ordered an 11.5, I get a 10.5. I don't understand what's going on. Supply chain issues, everybody tells me it's supply chain issues. Holy shit. So, talk about a couple $100 in garbage. You think you're buying the same thing. Because, like I said, I threw my other sneakers out, but I could actually show you. It's a sewn-in insole, and it's an air pocket, and you can hear the air when you would walk. Well, that's the problem why I needed a new pair. Through my trade, they look like garbage. I mean, they wore like they were still gold a little bit, but the compressioning was gone, and I figured I just wanted to upgrade and get another pair of what I had. Well, none of these are what I had. They're cheap junk now. Reebok. Stuff your cheap junk right up Shock's butt, whatever his name is. Anyway. It's all cheap garbage. I got to get back to work. That's my video, so I don't know if you folks have advice what sneaker would be comfortable, especially if you're getting old. If you're older like me or an older tradesman, you're getting up there 60, 70 years old, you do need something comfortable on your feet. But you think for what I do, I want to spend $200 on a pair of sneakers that I'm literally going to obliterate. They're going to look like these in a couple of days. and I want to spend $200 on that, well, maybe the question is, what are my feet worth? You know what I mean? You really got to look at what the reality of things are. So, anybody has any suggestions for me on sneakers? I'm all ears. Thanks.